a quick scouting report on the Nets tonight.
Team that obviously has been struggling. A lot of injuries that they've been having to deal with, but at the same time, team that has a lot of talent. Very dangerous. With Joe Johnson having Brooke Lopez back. Guys that can get it done. Andre Blatch playing well for them. So, we have to come in with the approach that they're like a wounded dog or, cornered, and it's going to come out very dangerous.
Ty Lawson obviously has gotten off to a great start, but it seems like teams are playing him a little bit differently now, trying to blitz him and double team him. Can you just talk about Ty and his development and moving ahead in the process?
Well, he's played great for us, and it's almost been to a point where you can almost pencil him in for 20 points and 8 assists on every given night. And what it's done is it's forced teams to have to game plan against him, and as a result of that, it's opening it up for other guys on the court. So when they double team him, coming off of screen rolls and things of that nature, it creates more space for our bigs inside to operate and for our shooters to come out and our passes to beat their rotations.
We have a special feature running in the weekly show. It's called Ask the Coach, so I'm required to ask this question of you. Do you remember who you threw your first alley-oop pass to, and when was it?
It probably was not till college. A teammate of mine, Brian Bonds, in college at Santa Barbara.
When Ty Lawson is starting to find, more bodies, more eyes on him, but what do you tell him in terms of being able to still do what you need to do under more defensive pressure?
Well, he's been great, and that's what happens when when you start to become a star in this league. You have to learn how to play against double teams and against more attention being focused on you. And I trust his instincts as well as he does in terms of just being able to make the right play. And he's been great all season long at picking his spots. He normally comes out and tries to facilitate and get everybody involved. And then at a certain point in the game, when he feels that we really need it, he starts to take over offensively and look to get his. And so he's been able to balance that well so far this season.
So far, so good in that respect.
Yeah.
J.J. Hickson, I know out of necessity he's playing center, but how has he played for you in that position?
He's played well. Obviously he's undersized. He's really a power forward. But, and some of the bigger, stronger centers have, given him some problems. But that's where we have Timo, where we can kind of balance that. And, tonight will probably be the same kind of challenge for him in terms of Brooke Lopez and his size and his strength. If he's given, JJ some problems, I can go to Timo earlier to combat that size and use JJ against their more active centers in Blatch and Miles and Mason Plumlee.
Brian, when you see all the troubles that team has been going through, today they rearranged their assistant. They demoted Lawrence Frank, by the way, but that has nothing to do with you. But do you feel like you've dodged a bullet a little bit?
No, to be honest with you, I've been paying attention to what's been going on with our team. I grew up with Jason, and I think he's bright. He'll do fine. It's his first experience as a coach. I think that he has competent people on his staff that will help him. But right now I think it's more a case of the injuries that he's having to deal with. We struggled early in the season and throughout the preseason because we didn't have Wilson Chandler, Gallinari. Kenneth was out for a few games. Now JaVale McGee's out. So, without having Darren Williams, Jason Terry, Paul Pierce being out now, Brooke Lopez just coming back. It's tough to try to get a rhythm, with your team and get everybody to understand what you're trying to do, especially when it's the first time for all those guys coming together. And fortunately for him in this situation, the East has been down as a whole. So, although their record isn't what they would like it to be right now, I don't think that probably, there's 15 teams in the East. Only 13 of them or only 2 of them are maybe where they want to be, and the rest, are kind of in the same situation as the Nets. So, still early in the season, they still have time to get things in order.
When you're interviewing for this Nets job, was there a point when you thought this is going to work out for me? I'm going to be the Nets coach of the Nets?
Say that. I'm sorry.
When you were interviewing for the Nets job, you obviously met with them for a lot. Did you think at one point you're going to be coach of the Nets?
I thought I had a pretty good chance. I knew that I was the last person to interview for the position. I knew Jason had interviewed a few days before me. And actually, when I did interview, Billy King, told me that he was going to hire Jason or myself. I made no secret of it. When I flew cross country and I got off the plane and got to my hotel and turned on the TV, I saw that it said that they were already in negotiation with Jason to be the coach. So that kind of threw me off a little bit, but we still went through with the interview. And, like I said, I think everything happens for a reason. I'm happy in the situation that I'm in.
Can you take advantage of the team and just fire it into assistant coach? Maybe it's a little turmoil, a bit out of sorts.
Actually, I'd rather it not be that way. I think that when you have change and things like that, I think a lot of times it galvanizes teams and they rally around that, So, that's one of the things that I have to guard our team against is, we're not in a position to be overconfident, by any means, but just going into this game realizing that, we're going to have to still play our best game and play harder and smarter than this team if we want to come away with a win tonight.
You and Jason are 7 years, I think, apart, but did you play each other at all at all point?
Well, Jason always kind of played up. And it wasn't until when he was, his high school years, when I would come back in the summertime, high school and college days, where we spent a lot of time. We played on the same summer league team, coming up, he and I and Gary Payton, a few of the other guys. So we've been knowing each other a long time, and I'm just happy that he has this opportunity that he has.
Back in the day, or you had some size on him. Did you beat him back in the day? Or?
Yeah, we used to beat up on him, as you do with a younger guy, or like a father and a son. You want your son to kind of always fear you, regardless of how old he gets. But it wasn't hard to see that he was going to be a special player even back then.